Hello my friends and welcome back to the channel. Today I just want to talk a little bit about the horrors of alcoholism and just how much more horrific it can get if you let it develop. But I also want to give a little bit of hope as well, because there is a way out. Myself and many millions probably of people are proof of that. But I want to share with you in this video what I think is the most important step you'll need to take to get out of the nightmare that is alcoholism. Before I do that, please subscribe, please like the video. It just means one or two more people may see them, get a bit more help from them. And also, just take a moment to click on the link in the description, have a quick read, see how you can get more involved in the channel and help support it. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I was reminded the other day by somebody, because you can become very complacent and forget very quickly about how horrific and how disgusting and horrible the places are that alcoholism will take you eventually. There's no question about it. You know, I would have died if I hadn't got out. And unfortunately, I know many people, there's no point sugarcoating it. It is a life and death situation. The illness of alcoholism, I'm going to call it an illness, and I'm not, that's my opinion. I know there are differing opinions. In my opinion, it is an illness because you don't choose to do the things that you do when you develop alcoholism and to go to the places that you do go to and the nightmare you do have. And also, I'm not going to debate whether it's a physical illness or a mental illness. It doesn't matter. People develop this thing. I was one of those people, and I'm very lucky to get out. But I was also addicted for a very long time to strong opiates, eventually heroin. I found alcohol was much harder to finally stop and get out of my life than the opiates were. I mean, opiates, those of you who've been there will know that they're a terrible battle, and they can take you to some awful places. But the problem is with alcohol, it is just so socially accepted. I mean, you're made to feel guilty. It's the only drug that you're made to feel guilty by people for not partaking with them or not getting involved with them with it. I mean, you wouldn't get people, or maybe you would, I don't know, but I certainly didn't. You wouldn't get people coming up to you and going, "Come on, Tim, you're coming out to get smacked off your tits tonight. Shoot up a bit of heroin." And then having a go at you because you didn't go with them. That'd be horrific, and you'd be shocked. But you're made to feel guilty if you don't get involved in the alcoholic merry-go-round. You're surrounded by it. It is everywhere. It's legal. And the difference, again, heroin and alcohol. Alcohol does you much more physical harm and mental harm than heroin does, unless obviously you get a bad batch of heroin, which you have no control over. But it doesn't do you as much physical or mental harm as alcohol does. One sip of alcohol is poison to your body. Immediately it tries to expel it. If you become dependent on alcohol, getting off it is the hardest thing you'll ever do in your life. If you're physically, mentally and psychologically dependent on alcohol, in other words, you're an alcoholic, and you don't want to drink necessarily, but you have to drink. You don't choose to do what you do. Your life chooses it for you, because if you don't drink every 2 or 3 hours, then you'll go into a horrific alcoholic withdrawal. You know, this terrible feeling of anxiety and doom will come over you. The shakes will start, the sweats will start, the pain will start, the panic will start, the fear will start. Those of you who've been in alcoholism will know these feelings and know the feeling that you lose track of days. Time means nothing anymore. All that matters to you is beg, steal and borrow enough money and find enough alcohol and hide it in enough places to hide from those that you love, and get it down your neck constantly to keep you in a state It's not even about enjoyment or getting drunk, or just like drug addiction isn't about getting high eventually. It's just about staying well, maintaining yourself. It's a horrific place to be. And the thing is, it makes you do some horrific things. I lost all my honesty, my self-respect, my self-esteem, my dignity. I didn't care for myself physically or mentally. I didn't care about anybody. I became selfish. I became a thief. I did things that I can't believe I did today. You know, I've had my family begging me in tears to stop before I die numerous times. All that would be on my mind was how I was going to get a drink down me in the next hour or so, just to stay well. It just didn't register, the fact that I was dying, the fact I was hurting those that I love most, the fact I was doing things that would make your hair curl, to hide and beg and steal from those I loved, steal from my job, from my work, hiding it, you know, constantly living in anxiety, trying to find new hiding places and hide the smell on your breath and coming out of your pores, and hide your drunkenness and the slur of your words, just trying to appear normal. You know, I'd driven with it, you know, with people in the car, knowing that I wasn't fit to drive. It's disgusting. I see all that now, but when you're in the midst of alcoholism, you don't see any of this. You're blind to it. You don't care that you're killing yourself. You don't care that every sip is destroying every organ in your body, especially your brain. Every sip. It's socially acceptable, and that's why when you stop, it's so hard when, you know, people say, "Oh, I'm never going to enjoy myself anymore. You know, I can't go out and have fun anymore." I've actually found the opposite of that. I've found that I've had more fun, made more friends since I've been sober. Probably because I remember it, and I take in every moment, and I'm present in every moment. I'm not saying it's easy to get to that stage. I mean, you've got to work at that, but that's where you will get to. People are constantly saying to you, "Come to the pub, you know, oh, you're in misery, you know, have a drink, one won't do you any harm." You know, it's bloody hard. And you've got to get rid of those people from your life, not go to those places. It's like I said in the last video, you know, if you sit in the barber's chair long enough, you're going to get a haircut. And that's a fact. You know, you'll end up drinking. You need to make your environment a product of you and not be a product of your environment. It's simple as that. Stopping drinking is horrifically hard, and you may not see a way out at the moment. The times I stopped before that weren't successful, and there were many of them, and I talked about relapse in the last video. I'll link it to this. Please watch that. Learning from that relapse, you know, but even when I went to rehab at 46, I did it because my family begged me to do it. I did it for the wrong reasons. I didn't do it for me. I didn't take any sort of responsibility. I did it because I wanted to please my family, because, you know, somewhere deep down in my brain I knew, you know, that I needed to do this. But I wasn't committed to it for that reason. Just like you won't be committed to your sobriety if you're just doing it for those that you love and your family and friends and whatever, your job or whatever it is. The success I've had in my sobriety has been down to one thing, which I'll share with you now. And that's, forget all the bullshit. Take fucking responsibility for your life. Because doing that, and it won't be comfortable, if you're responsible and you want to get sober for you, then the knock-on effect is for everyone else. You know in your heart that becoming the best version of you and gritting your teeth and working hard every single day and deciding not to put a drink in your mouth every single day, and you get stronger and better, the family and those that you love reap the benefits of that, because they've heard all your bullshit and your lies before. They've heard you promise you're going to stay sober. You've got to show them the change. You've got to be the change. You've got to live the change. You've got to be responsible for making those steps and taking those steps and going and stepping out of comfort and putting yourself into discomfort every single day. No bullshit. You do whatever it takes to stay sober. I know what it takes me to stay sober. And it takes work every single day. It takes connection. It takes my AA meetings, and that's not for everyone. That's another discussion. It takes me working on myself physically and mentally every single day. It takes me getting up at the crack of dawn, working out. It takes me walking for miles. It takes me giving service and volunteering and helping other people and being kind. It takes me a myriad of things for my mental and physical health every day to optimize myself. And that's what you've got to do. Take responsibility. Don't quit when you're quite tired. You quit when you're done. As Goggins says, one of my favourite role models. That's what I wanted to share with you today. There is a way out. There is hope. And you can do this. If I can, you can. Carpe diem, seize the day today. Please subscribe, like, click on the link in the description, have a read. Much love to you all. Bye-bye.